Hey there, my storm-weary survivors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Frostpunk 2 Frost Harbor. Episode 3, City Under Duress. Oh boy. Get prefabs quick! Oh man! It's stressful. Having homeless people going into a storm is scary. So we just lost access to the materials outpost because it just got overtaken by the storm. So I'm going to shift them back up to coal before turning it off entirely to save fuel. Come on! Let's go! Give me my prefab! There it is! Let's get that house built before people freeze to death. I'm very worried about materials heading into this, because this storm knocks out our brittle forest. And we don't have iron on this map tile, so there isn't an alternative material source. So that might suck, but like, it should only temporarily increase crime due to scarcity. It's not going to kill people. So it could be worse. You wanted me to research something in the way of heating, and I think saving up for crop selection is going to be great to try to reduce our heating amounts that we need heading like during the storm. All right, the rally's ended. And crop selection can be researched. So this is something the foragers and bohemians, which is about 43% of the city, want. It's getting colder. Oh, God. Ooh. So our output here was once 190, and because of the storm, is reduced by 152. Dear Lord, materials, goodbye. The house isn't done yet, but it is under construction. And interestingly, the storm hasn't yet hit these outposts, so they're still bringing in resources. They'll be shut down soon, but I want them to run as long as they can. So we're melting through our oil stockpile to try to stay warm, and let's boost the generator. Overdrive on to try to make the most heat out of our resources. We're completely out of material. So now we have rampant material shortages. I mean, I knew that was coming. Yeah, look at that. So these are shut down due to the lack of materials. This one's still running, but like barely. All right, everyone's sheltered at least. Well, that's gentle news. The expansion here, I would still like to do, which means this is going to be rough on the citizens, but shifting over from goods to prefabs so that we have access to more coal during the storm. So we have a massive goods and material shortage, which is going to drive up crime and squalor, but, like, can't be helped. And pretty soon, the storm... Actually, the storm seems to be missing our outposts. They'll probably hit the outpost eventually, but the storms are localized, so they're not hitting the outpost yet. Which is nice, because I'm stockpiling a hell of a lot of coal in preparation, and still combating some of the cold with the imported oil. I'm actually not going to do this because I don't think we're going to run out. 34 weeks, yeah. No, we might run out. Alright, the teams just got recalled. So let's turn off the logistics, because there's no going outside anymore. I have a decent amount of stockpiled food, so I might... No, I'm going to leave it running. But I'm also going to turn off these goods to alleviate some of the shortages of materials. Oh, and it turned on this one. And turn off that one. No, turn off. The reason I'm turning it off is we're going to have good shortages kind of no matter what we do, but keeping those facilities off keeps us from having to heat them, which is a bit of a benefit in a storm like this. Blue Punk Roger, thank you for the gifted sub. So I'm running out of oil in 2 weeks, and then the adaptive pumps will start burning coal in lieu of oil. So this is one of the problems of having access to only one type of material. This is a brittle wood whiteout, which reduces your income from wood. If I had an iron node on this map tile, it would not have been a problem. I would have tapped the iron and still had a bit of a materials income during this. But this specific map tile doesn't have iron. So I'm vulnerable in that way. Once we have a materials colony, that might not be an issue anymore. So getting a materials colony could be a really good thing for our Frostland explorers to focus on once the storm is over, so that we can negate some of the penalties of this starting tile. What colony should I aim for first? Materials, food, or fuel? I can also leave that up to you. So, polls over on the right. And also, while you vote on that, let's consider passing laws. So we don't have an outsider policy. We don't have necessities or contagion policy. We don't have a funerals policy. I want an outsiders policy. The laborers and bohemians want to accept everyone, and the overseers want to accept only productive outsiders. So I'm going to consider accepting all outsiders. And I'm going to propose this and recruit you to the Viewers' Council. At the moment, 37 is 4. So 7 of the 33 foragers, 7 of the 33 machinists, 13 of the 17 laborers, and every single Bohemian. Whether you vote for it or against it, that's completely up to you. But I'll put it to a vote, and it just has to pass by simple majority. 11-4, and 4 against. And it passes by a pretty wide margin.
Has been approved.
The reason I wanted this to explain is the ambition that we have is populous food, fuel, and materials colonies, which means I need a big population to be able to do that, right? I need 30,000 people outside of our own colony to be able to accomplish that, so the more people that immigrate to us, the better. Oh, shoot! Things are breaking. Storm damage. And I don't have a lot of prefabs to be able to repair this stuff, so ouch. You guys want a materials colony to be built next. Copy that. We have a lead on that, so that might help. And I meant to do this sooner. Oh, it's already under research. I don't have my research button is missing, so it's hard to remember if I'm actively researching or not. That's got to be a bug. So now we're burning coal. We have 64 weeks of coal. But the whiteout ends sooner than that. Housing district damage from squalor. So, yeah, the pollution generated from all of this is damaging housing districts, but I don't have the prefabs to repair it at the moment. Oh, there goes another one. If I had to choose between housing and materials, I'm going to go with housing repair, but the squalor is gaining because of material scarcity, and that's because the whiteout is targeting our materials specifically. So there's a lot of tension as a result of the notable squalor, crime, and disease. I just don't have a lot of levers to pull to be able to help that at the moment. So all we can do is ride this storm out. And the first storm of a Utopia is generally one of the worst because you have the least amount of infrastructure to be able to combat the storm. But we're riding it. Expanded extraction district damage from squalor. Can't be helped. Murdered by violent criminals. I don't like that. That's gonna decrease trust with everyone. And the generator is hot, but not critical yet. So the violent criminals is a result of the lack of goods because of the scarcity, and also just we're populous, so that drives up crime. Unfortunately, I don't have... Oh, the energy efficiency finished. But I'm not going to get like watchtowers at the moment because a lot of our problems goes away as soon as the storm goes away. And the storm's almost over. Well, this one was brutal, though. Oh. Oh, man. Okay. Rough. But we survived. So, let's get goods manufacturing ramped up to help with the scarcity. so that crime and squalor goes away very quickly. We'll fertilize the soils for food. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do on the overland map immediately. Okay, we can get materials. That will help out a lot. So these outposts are still buried by the storm, but we can take the resources of coal and materials from Weathervane, which will help to temporarily alleviate some of those issues. And then as soon as they're back, we can survey this valley for potentially a materials outpost. That was a rough one. Let's spin up this bad boy, but make prefabs so that we can start repairing the broken facilities. And even though the storm's over, it's going to get colder twice soon. And if you're worrying, overdrive is off, so our engine is cooling. We survived it. There's a new law that could be proposed. So, funerals. The Bohemians want to harvest bodies. It will decrease disease. And harvesting is not cannibalism. It's like organ donation. Whereas the ceremony of funerals reduce trust loss resulting from death. I don't think I want... I want to avoid people dying. So, I don't need the other one. Plus, that's only the overseas. And we really haven't been... what the hell is going on here? I can't... That's not legible. That's a bug. So I'm proposing that we do harvesting funerals to increase research speed slightly and decrease disease slightly. But in this case, I'm also going to negotiate. So I'm going to potentially negotiate with the Machinists, which is a rivaling to this idea faction. And I'm going to agree to research the deep melting drill to gain their favor. And then you guys can also vote. Okay. 10-4, 1 against. And it passes with pretty wide margin. It actually passed a 2/3 majority. So then I'm obligated to research the deep melting drill, but I wanted that anyway. So the deep melting drill allows you to access the deep resources. And we're going to run out of coal here eventually. So it was something I wanted it anyway, for that reason. Oh, what happened? Oh, we're not harvesting the buried village at the moment. I don't want the oil. I want the materials. Thank you very much. I don't know why it automatically did that. That was strange. Ooh, that housing district basically broke right as I repaired it. It was rough out there. Alright, I don't need the coal mining complex going anymore because I'm full on coal. And instead, I'm going to have that survey team go to the valley to check the valley out. And I am so full on coal... I'm going to stop that and reduce that. Because there's no point in mining past your supply maximum. You just waste it. Also, just about full on materials. So I'm going to turn off my materials plant, mostly. it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea to spin up another construction plant to make goods and prefabs. But most of the current issues, other than disease, is dissipating. In order to combat disease, we should probably consider getting a hospital of some sort. But I want to repair this. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to switch. No, I take that back. I was going to switch the district, but there's finite here and not finite there. So, to explain a little bit further, the food district I have running is the one that has access to deep fertile soil, and the wood district I have running has access to deep, vast forests. Because the other districts, this one and this one, have way more finite material, so I'd rather not exhaust them sooner. The same is true of coal. This has deep coal, this does not. Cool. Everything is repaired. Unrest in the city. Stewards, overseers representatives have come to my office, so they would want me to either repeal the harvesting funerals or research machine-centric shifts. And I am going to offer to research machine-centric shifts. That doesn't necessarily mean we enact it in law. That will be up to you guys. But at least I can agree to say, hey, you know, yes, I haven't been exactly fair to you. I'll research it. But whether or not we enact it will be voted on. Okay. So the thing that we promised to research for the machinists is done, the deep melting drills. And they like us a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get the machine-centric shifts. I don't need to build any deep melting drills just yet, and it causes a lot of squalor and materials, so I'm going to hold off on that when I can. Actually, no, don't do that. Bohemians are back into favorability. And I think what I'm going to do is promote them. Meaning encourage people to join Bohemians. Because I feel like you viewers are sort of siding with them. With their reason, their equality, and their adaptation. I could be wrong. I don't want to make assumptions here. But I feel like that is the trend. That we've been siding with foragers and siding with the Bohemians. So I might as well embrace their faction because it dwindles the strength of the overseers. And the overseers are sowing a little chaos. They're not terrible, but they haven't been exactly forthcoming. Alright, we have room for another law. So all the society laws that need to be passed are passed. City laws. We don't have contagion protocols. We don't have necessity. The Bohemians want free essentials, as does the laborers. So I'm going to propose that. So all of the necessities are free to everybody, rather than to make people pay for it. This raises trust, and trust is the currency that me, the steward, cares about. Whether or not you want to vote for this or not is up to you. But I will negotiate with the machinists once again that if they vote for this, I will research the calibrated goods factory. (7-4) 2 against. And it's going to pass by massive margin due to my negotiations. 74 out of 100 voted for it.
The law takes effect.
So Free Essentials has pushed the Bohemians up to basically devoted to me, and I'm going to tell them to hold mind-shaping sessions,
Have reached a decision.
trying to convince people to join their faction. And also, I'm going to fund their projects. Meaning that they're now devoted. And they might hold rallies to benefit me further. Plus, overall trust is respected. That's not bad. Alright. I think gaining additional access to the overland map would be wise. So I'm going to start, I'm going to get out to this old way station up here too. To increase the presence of scouts. Also, once the machine-centric shifts and calibrated goods factories are researched, as is promised, I think what I'll do is research some benefits that the scouts can have to be more capable out in the world. But I did say that I wanted another industrial district. I gotta figure out where to put it. You know what? Maybe I will put it over by this, over here. So that we can max out goods and be able to get more heat stamps. So because this has a deep drill access, this node is going to be around forever. As long as I want it to be, I should say. So I want the industrial district to border it 3 times, and then go straight to the logistics district area so that it can also border the logistics. Overseer's demands met. We researched machine-centric shifts, and my trust with them has increased. Granted, they don't trust me really at all, but at least I didn't betray them, which means that they don't like me, right? They're pretty hostile, but they do trust me. Which is pretty interesting, isn't it? So the next thing I need to research is the calibrated goods factory, which is a promise to the machinists, which is here.
The steward appreciates all.
And I need more prefabs to be able to get the logistics district. So this brand new industrial district is going to make prefabs instead. Just so that I can start to explore some more. Because I'm eager to do exploration. So I'm having it snake towards the logistics district so they can overlap one another. New delegates. So I didn't propose this. This is the machine-centric shifts that is wanted by the overseers and the machinists, and very few of the laborers. So to show you what that is, right now we have unregulated worker shifts, and the machine-centric ones reduce the workforce requirements, but increase squalor. So you guys can vote for or against. It's up to you. Voting for it will make the machinists like me a little bit more. And in liking me, they can help to de-radicalize the overseers once the overseers become radical. But passing this also will mean that the Bohemians and the foragers don't like this policy. So it's, you know, there's some horse trading to be done here. Three, 4, 5 against. Looks like it's going to fail.
The proposed law has been rejected.
We promised the machinists to be able to propose that. We didn't say we were going to pass it. So I didn't break their trust or anything. Overseers begin protesting. Oh boy. So, I can repeal accept all outsiders, research unproductive do maintenance, or convince them to stop. I'm going to agree to research unproductive do maintenance. It's not a terrible policy to enact, as I don't necessarily want them to shut down the city with their protests. So I'm seeking a peaceful solution rather than an extreme one. But we'll see how they escalate. So they're shutting down this housing district, but this housing district doesn't have our research. I can counter-protest, but I don't want to, because that escalates it. So I'd rather not. Disease weakens our workforce. I need hospitals. All right. And we finally have enough for the logistics district that I wanted. And one of the Frostland teams finished surveying to the south. A materials colony. Nice! It has access to geothermal, a deep vein of coal, and iron. Nice. A workshop, which has machinists that we can take in or not. And a giant food stockpile of eggs. I don't think we have a lot of room for... No, I have room for food, but I'm not going to take it just yet because we don't have a shortage of food. So what I want to do here is to connect a path to try to start the maybe I should go south. Oh man, this is expensive. So I don't have the prefabs to make this path yet, but I would like to start the materials outpost, because that is the most vulnerable thing about Frost Harbor. So I'm going to try to save up the prefabs to be able to do that, but I don't have them yet. So instead, let's... Is there anywhere to survey before I start gathering... Oh yeah, I can survey this valley. Buried village, supplementing our materials is about to deplete. Got it. The protest is still, it's going... Oh, I also wanted to show you this. I meant to show this before, but if we click on the zoom in on the district, you can actually see the protests. They look a little bit more than protests, in my opinion. But they're non-violent so far. And adjacent districts, I think, are... it's sort of spreading. As you can see, it almost looks like an infection in the colony. And it functionally acts like one. But as soon as I do research the unproductive do maintenance, that meets their demands. I might want to employ another research institute, though. As I'm worried about the speed at which I can fulfill their demands. So, let's get a second research institute. And we have more explorers. I don't want to send them anywhere deadly. And we need more technological advances to make it's safe to survey some of the places around us. But here's a valley that isn't dangerous. Good. Trust falls due to ongoing protests. Yep. Unmitigated protests. Oh, and God, 2,000 more people just moved in. Oh, boy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start that materials colony because I have enough prefabs and heat stamps to get it done. So I actually will... I'm going to cancel this valley expedition because this is a bit more urgent. And I think I'm going to go... Yeah, wind this way. Done. Connected. Alright, calibrated goods is 2 days away. Machinists increase. I now have trust with machinists. I have more trust with the laborers. So I have quite a lot of trust built up with everybody except for, of course, the instigators, the overseers. So let's research the unproductive do maintenance to appease them. It only takes 6 weeks. That should be pretty fast. And that should de-escalate their protests, which look pretty escalated. Oh my goodness. I think that dude's on fire. Y'all a bit radical for me. At least he isn't cold, that's true. He'll be warm the rest of his very short life. I would pass a new law, but I'm gonna wait until... Actually, they just want me to research it, so yeah, let's not bother trying to pass that for them. You know, I don't... They're holding like a knife to my neck going, hey, do what I say. There's no laws that I really feel are meaningful to pass at the moment, though. So how is our materials outpost coming? We are a month away from having that built. I'm meeting their demands in 4 weeks, and my deadline is... normally mousing over this tells you your deadline, but I'm not seeing it right at the moment. The cold season is coming in. I need to start stockpiling coal and oil in higher volume. So I'm going to expand the oil drills. Because the fear, of course, if I don't, we get a little cold coming in. Okay, the overland teams have connected us to the materials colony. I need 20 Frostland teams available to gain access to that. So let's pull the trigger on that right now. Oh, I need 400 prefabs. Nope, 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 nope. So instead, let's go back to surveying the valley while I save up those prefabs. And I am going to overdrive the generator a little bit, just to save me some coal. All right, there it is. We met your demands. We got what we wanted, so they're standing down. And stopping the protests. And they're also trying to pass it. So unproductive do maintenance decreases the material demand slightly and increases production efficiency slightly. The alternative to that is all do maintenance, which is material demand reduced but not production efficiency. So whether or not you pass this is up to you. It is highly unpopular. 4. Only 3 of the forgers, 3 of the machinists, and all the overseers want it. So I'll recruit you. You can vote with the overseers if you want, but I'm not going to negotiate to get this passed. I agreed to research it for them, but they kind of held a district hostage to get it done. So I'm not eager to, myself as steward, to help them. And you guys were mixed. You're 5-4, 7 against. How do you vote? There's Twitch integration that you have to enable.
The measure fails.
Measure failed. But at least, you know, they got what they wanted. Alright, so I need 400 prefabs to be able to build that thing, huh? I have a lot of extra people that are like sitting around not doing anything, so let's get some more prefabs manufactured. Sounds reasonable. Thank you for tuning in to Frostpunk 2 Frost Harbor, which originally streamed live on Twitch September 21st. Frost Harbor was cut from the second half of the marathon. In the first half I covered the story, and the second half was a Utopia called Frost Harbor. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow harbormen.